Welcome to the channel. So in the past few days, I have shared the proper training or practice of Kung Fu have two parts, the development parts and the confirmation parts. And the confirmation is verifications, and today we can even verify it with sport science because we are human, be it the ancient or us living in 2021. And also I have shared the what is Wing Chun. I share what is Wing Chun based on ancient evidence, technical details, nothing on any personal, but solid technical details. It's like an engineering. You show what is that technology is. Now, after I have shared this, many of our traditional Chinese martial art friends have discussed with me, chat with me, and that inspired me to share with you what I like to share with you today. Now, I warn you, what I'm going to share with you today might shock many people. Most people will not like it if they are in some kinds of belief that they are right or they are superior. So please do not watch this video if you don't like to hear what I tell the truth. Now, let's get into this. We like it or not, the fighting art best technology in today's 2021, okay? So this is the best technology of the fighting art. On fist fight, it is Western boxing. Kick, it is Thai boxing and also like Kyokushinkai. Throw, takedown, groundwork, there's judo and BJJ. So we like it or not, if we talk about fighting art, the best technology in 2021 is this. Okay? Body conditioning, it is sports science. And all of this is based on technical details. Western boxing have a lot of technical details which cover many different scenario. Same with Muay Thai, same with Kyokushin, same with Judo, same with BJJ. They are really a really comprehensive system with detailed technology and have a solution solving for different scenario. And there's a lot of scenario which is built out in past 60 or 100 years. This is what it is. Sports science, same thing. The body development, the functional training, the isometrics training, the stamina training, the cardiovascular endurance, the muscle endurance, the power training, all have details, technical or technological details. So this is what it is. The reason they are best because they are professional and they actually have their technology in details. So if today we talk about the fighting art, we like it or not, this is the bottom line. Look into that. There's no kung fu inside there. None. Okay. There's not even Santa in there. So the Chinese have nothing here. Like it or not, this is what it is. Okay. So what is the most of the Chinese Kung Fu practitioner do? I won't say everybody. I will say most. You know what they do? They're living in Kung Fu fantasy. Okay. Now I give you an example of Kung Fu fantasy. Exactly that. If you go to watch the movie, The Grandmaster, where you can have the character Yip Man. Okay, of course that character Yip Man is not Grandmaster Yip Man. Okay, character Yip Man and the internal art guy and the southern martial artist, the northern martial artist. That is exactly living in fantasy. That is what I coin as Chinese old dream fantasy. It's a Chinese old dream. Okay, you're sitting around. What do? You're living in the past within a room full of old photos. So it's like we living in this room, and this room in the wall we have all the old photos. Okay, and we speculating on every one of the person in the photo, speculating based on hearsays. So if this room, imagine if this room is full of the ancient photos since 1890s, okay? All those yellowish photos, old photos, we just have keys here and we look at their photos and every photos, we look at their people. Oh, this grandmaster, blah, 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 blah. The style, blah, 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 blah. Is exactly like the movie, The Grandmaster, okay? So that is what is living in Kung Fu fantasy. That is a world one get into that delusional world which trapping everybody while one will never see this. And yet, one not be able to benchmark what one is talking about with this. So if you ask what is the uniqueness, they will tell you all kind of qi, jing, internal. I disagree on this because I have this mental power and all those things. And you have this Taoist 460 years ago or 700 years ago, monk and nuns living in the cave who we don't even know whether that thing exists or not. It's based on hearsays. And if we say, no, so no, let's talk about the technology, the uniqueness of the technology. They say, wow, this is the set, this is the secret set. But can they do this? Western boxing, you like it or not, in today's world, the best fist fight is Western boxing. There's uniqueness. Kick, you look at Muay Thai, Thai boxing, you look at Kyokushin, okay? Takedown, groundwork, you look at Judo, you do a BJJ. Those are uniqueness. The same thing. If you go ask those judoka when they're in the ground, how much details they have in the handling of many different scenarios. There's details. Compatibility. They all have a compatibility. That's why all of those, when they mix up, is called mixed martial arts. The technology, every of those style have a technology, a comprehensive technology in details, which is can be benchmarked, can be compared, and all of this is trained with body conditioning. Okay, this is the part here. Now you look at all these people, body conditioning. Oh, 心气 to 丹田, have your spine raised up, lifting your anus. You must be kidding if you analyze with all this thing People will laugh the hell out of you. But you know what? People here, you can see that all these people in professional, they do not uh, get into those behavior of like talk bad to other people or laugh at other people. They're humble people. Their focus is on technology. So you seldom heard about like this real pro here will critics or put down on other arts like kung fu. They don't. Just look at it. Okay. Of course, not everybody, but most people is focused on the professional thing here. Look at this here. It's like exactly like in the movie, The Grandmaster. Oh, you have this kung fu. I have this kung fu. This is the characteristics and that, but yet all is all movie showing, and everything is just a speculation from hearsay based on the old photo. Are you serious? That is what it is? Well, whatever you talk in that, like the movie Grandmaster, I can prove you wrong with General Qi Ji Guang chapter 14, 460 years ago. Those grandmaster in this movie, they talk about if they go to fight anybody in like the General Qi Ji Guang's trained soldier, they will get wiped out. Why? Same thing. All this thing, when you put this reality as a reference, everything turn into bubble. So this is what happened. You want to talk about mind power? Can you talk about samadhi, which is recorded in the real training of the say the Buddhas, the or the yoga's guru, where you can make a experiment and check it out like today in many university like Harvard and so forth. You want to talk about fighting? Have you ever see anybody really go to fight and defeat the Western boxing like boxer like Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, or go to Thailand? Look at the records. Now I'm not putting down Kung Fu. I'm saying that 460 years ago is this. It's exactly this. And now it become like that. Okay? So as yesterday I share on the Wing Chun, what is Wing Chun? Okay, the core of the technology. If we don't develop that, we don't have uniqueness. We don't know the details. We don't have compatibility. We don't have technology. But if we develop that, we can really fast maybe get into one range here. That the uniqueness. So this is the bottom line now. And yet all movies is keeping create this kind of movies. And with all this, you can check with all this, none of them talk about momentum. And yet momentum is defined here in the chapter 14, in the Ming military. No those mysterious dance. Are you kidding? You think that you play things soft, slow, you can have magic power? We know today in sports science, you practice those kind of practice, you not even to get your VO2 max up. Okay? Which over here you need it. Because you don't have the technology to develop the cardiovascular and the muscle endurance like over here, which is needed over here. So this is what I like to share with you. Now, I'm not putting down Kung Fu or anybody. I'm not putting down because I tell you this is the grandfather of Kung Fu. It is like that. This is called fantasy. So are you guys following the grandfather, or are you guys doing whatever you want and expect that that is going to 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 face this real world? If it is not wake up from this old Chinese dream, like in the movie Grandmaster, you talk big, you talk like you know it all on those kind of stuff, and expert. Face it, there's no future. It is that trap, like you're trapped in this room full of photos, and everybody sitting around. We all sitting around, have a cup of tea, and then say this. No end of it. Well, outside this room, this is the world. So there's past 60 years at least, people develop this. You check into history of this fighting out of martial arts for past 60 years, you see what happened. And even like, for example, Bruce Lee, today we still talk about Bruce Lee. Well, Bruce Lee is very respectable. But now is 50 years later, after his passing. And with that 50 years, what technology have people developed here? Even if Bruce Lee have the best technology in 1973, 50 years later, think about it. What technology have others developed? Just look at all this high tech today, 50 years ago and 50 years today. 50 years ago, you still need to writing letters, mail it, your phone. You can talk in the telephone. But today, look, you can watch video over here, interactive, and in the seconds you can send messages across the world. Okay, and of course, like Bruce Lee and all the past grandmaster like Qi Ji Guang and so forth, they're respectable. There is no questions we respect them. But we don't live in this room of old photos and give our 5 cents and thinking that we know this, we know that, and make all kinds of really naive claim or talk compared with today's. So this is what I like to share with you. Chinese Kung Fu, Wing Chun, it is your freedom, what you want to do with it. I'm retiring or I'm already retired. What I do is I present to you what it is in the past. What is the reality? I have done my job. That's why I am no longer martial artist. I have done my job. Whoever in this field, now this is what it is. And sure, over here, usually they say all fight is the same. Well, sure, people is talking about here, boasting about this thing, but then when they fight, they just take one or two boxing techniques, or take one or two kicking techniques, or take one or two BJJ technique, then they call it this is their style. Oh, we train our style this way, but in the fight, all the same. Who are we gonna kid? This is technology, okay? So when it is in technology, nobody can cheat. People can see you really clearly. Another 10 years, you look at the development of here, you see here will be like the old Chinese uh, how to say that club where always talking about the past, the past. And that's why even today's young generation Chinese don't like it. Why? Because you trap yourself in this room full of picture. It's dead. And you live only in fantasy and your imaginations, in your dream of the past. And the young people cannot handle it. They say, what the heck? Why do I have to be here? It's suffocate like hell. There's no future here. I want to go out for this. And MMA, that's why. That's what happened in China. So we like it or not, this is reality.